Hi, I'm Greg Corper, the writer, director, producer of Don't Tell Larry.
I mean, you got a lot of freaking belly laughs in that film. Congratulations right there. Yeah.
Everything that happened in that movie happened to me in real life. No, just kidding. So I actually created a web series with my co-writer, co-director, John, who's not here, and the actor who played Larry, Kyle Kennedy. The three of us actually worked together in an office at a production company about 10 years ago. And John and I met, and this gentleman, Kyle, who is in the Groundlings improv troupe. I mean, his comedic skills are just off the charts. He just would have us in stitches every time he talked. So we wanted to film a little web series. It's called Don't Tell Larry. It's actually on YouTube. You can find it if you just type it in. But basically, it was just these two coworkers had these little secrets from their unhinged third coworker, Larry. And the one thing from that web series that kind of stayed in this movie, besides Kyle himself, was the scene in the closet where they're drinking pee. And you guys are a great audience because that cringe reaction is the reaction that the web series had, and we actually started writing the movie knowing that that scene was going to exist, and then we figured out, well, how the heck do we create a narrative that gets to that scene, and then that, you know, it continues along, but also still having that as a piece that remains. So it was not the normal way to write a movie. We had that set piece, and then we almost said, okay, all right, they're going to have to be in this position. What would have had to precede it, and then how would it continue? So it was kind of a backwards way to make a movie, but that's narratively how it all came together. And then in terms of just the actual production of it, the web series that was made, I used as a proof of concept, and pretty much every single day for the last 5 years, I've been living and breathing this project, that this is my child, this movie. So it's reaching out to anyone and everyone I've ever met to say, hey, do you want to be a part of this? Would you be able to invest to help make something that I think is really awesome? And fortunately, after a lot of time and energy and effort and blood, sweat, and tears, it was able to come to fruition.
Well, I don't think that we'll ever look at attributes quite the same way again. So.
It was water with yellow food dye, don't worry.
I think it was very well done. You got a lot of belly laughs and cringes were appropriate. I mean, it was like freaking hilarious. It was one thing after another. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for any of our filmmakers up here?
I actually did want to say that, sorry to cut in, I just did want to sing the praises of your lead actress. She was phenomenal, just a lot of fun.
Do you want to talk about the casting process a little bit? Because you had a couple familiar names up there as well, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, so happy to talk about casting. So we started with Kyle Kennedy, who played Larry, someone that we knew. In the Groundlings, Kyle introduced us to Patty Guggenheim, our lead actress Susan, who really carries the film. She's in every single scene except for when Patrick's texting in the car. She's literally camera in every scene. Patty was in a show called She-Hulk Attorney at Law that came out last year at Disney Plus, and she played this character, Madison, who absolutely stole the show. And I'm waiting for her to blow up any moment. She's just so talented. So she came to us through Kyle, who was like, you guys have to cast Patty, you have to cast Patty. He kept telling that to us, and fortunately we listened. Kenneth Mosley came through, basically the rest of the cast came through a casting director we hired, Ricky Massler. Ricky was able to get the script to Ed Begley Jr. We had a lot of improv, and so there was a short list of actors we wanted, and Ed was on that short list. John and I are huge fans of Ed Begley, and fortunately he read the script and he loved it, and I got a phone call from Ed Begley Jr. saying, great scripts, can't wait to film this movie, and I'm just like pinching myself, like I can't believe this is real.
He's so good at improv.
And Dot Marie Jones, who was in Glee and so many other shows and movies, also came to us through our casting director, and then we filmed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so we had some local actors. The actress who plays Gloria was actually my cousin, Molly, who's also a talented actress. So through some people we knew, but otherwise everyone else was through casting calls. And the interesting thing with Susan and Patrick, our two leads, is the script was originally, these two people didn't know each other that well. And then as soon as these two met in real life, they had an instant connection. And about a week and a half before filming, the script was changed so that these two were actually much closer than they were instead of strangers, just because their chemistry they had in real life was just undeniable.
Yeah, that definitely came across on the screen, yeah. So that was fantastic. I love that. Does anybody else have any questions in the audience?
Hi, just for Don't Tell Larry. It looked like it took place in Wisconsin, right?
That was the intention, yes.
Okay, what made you choose that specific, state as opposed to like California?
So, great question. So I went to school in Chicago, I went to Northwestern University right on Lake Michigan, so I wanted to do a little homage to the Great Lakes region. But Wisconsin specifically is that weed is still illegal there. And so we thought, and at the time when we made this, the way the state legislature was, it seemed like it was never going to be legalized there. It still isn't, but we thought that was something that where if it was legal there at the time, then maybe the stakes would be lower. But then we ended up actually changing the script to make it more about company policy. So it actually didn't end up really mattering that much, but that's the answer.
Anybody else have a question? Okay, over here.
Yeah, to Larry. Does your use of yellow have any significance?
Yes, it does. Yellow and a little bit of black means warning. So every time you saw yellow with the yellow and black, there was always a warning. Usually it was always whatever Larry was wearing. Other times it was the pencil. It's the yellow and black ladybug on Susan's shoulder when she decides to take the job or to keep going forward when she perhaps should have just owned up to the truth earlier on.
Good question, very perceptive. Anyone else? We got her.
I just want to follow up to what you were just saying about yellow. Two questions for you. Number one, what's your background in terms of did you go to film school, et cetera? And the second question being, and if so, what school? And the second question being, who's your favorite director? Because I kind of have a feeling I know what the answer.
So I went to Northwestern in the Chicago area. There was a film major, and then my parents encouraged a well-rounded background, so then took like a business minor. And really, I learned a little bit at school, like how to hold a camera and how to do like shot and reverse shots, but really, I learned a lot of what I knew about filmmaking just from going out and making projects, starting back from high school to side projects in college to even afterwards when I moved to Los Angeles and started making films and TV projects. And I'd been working in LA for 12 years, miscellaneous jobs working in TV development, a little bit of documentaries, producing documentaries, and hopefully now trying to stay clear of that part of the industry and go more towards scripted, comedic narrative storytelling. And then in terms of director, I'd say Judd Apatow. I just love his use. It's interesting, in a lot of his, mostly his earlier work, I think he really just doubles down on letting the comedy shine from the actors that he uses. He doesn't do anything that fancy with the camera, which I really like. I think some of his later work, he lets scenes go on a little bit too long with the improv, and we actually were in that situation. This was originally a 2-hour and 10-minute movie because of just all the jokes that were in there, and it was really hard to make so many cuts, but ultimately we just wanted to keep it moving, just keep everything flowing and really play with your emotions and keeping things tense and funny. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be another one back there.
Great movie, that was really funny. Have you promoted this movie like to streaming services, or I would watch this every week, you know?
Thank you. I'll find you after, and if you don't mind, I can record you on camera saying that so I can show it to you. We've been right now meeting with we have multiple offers for distribution companies to ultimately get this on different streaming services, trying to pit some companies against each other because the indie filmmaking market right now, it's tough. It is a tough marketplace, and thank you for saying that. We do really believe in the success of this film, so we're not just going to settle for the first offer that comes our way. So we do have a bunch of offers. There's a few more companies we're waiting to hear back from, but our goal is to actually be released probably like Q3 of this year, it's looking like, or early Q4. So tell everyone you know, including those people named Larry, about this movie, because anything we can do to help get the word out, especially leading up to it, will be really helpful for us.
I want to thank everybody for being here. Remind you, we have 50/50 tickets for sale out of the concessions, and if you want to continue these conversations, we will be meeting up in the lobby of the Asbury Hotel, Filmmakers Lounge for this hotel. So if you want to keep on chatting, go on and move in there. And today we're
And if you're on Instagram, DTL the movie, please give us a follow.